Hi, and welcome back. Well, this is a little bit of a short break for us and for ourselves as well. We would jump straight into the action right away, but probably as you can already notice, we have a new face here with us. Hi, Patty. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I am
Welcome.
fine.
Yes, welcome. We're like more than half of average roll, so I'm gonna say we're okay. Yeah, we can use the name now. So, would you like to tell us something about your character out of the game, or would you much rather that we meet her in the game and everything else?
In the game.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, if you remember, just as a reminder for everybody, we are in the middle of the action. Our heroes are deep into the abyss, the part of the abyss belonging to the Dark Queen of Dragons, Takhisis herself. And they just met the figure they were looking for, the mysterious figure they were looking for. They were just able to met him in the last session. That's where we ended, the last half of this session, and now we're gonna start again. We're gonna resume there, but first, so let's go back, everybody, to Dragonlance, Summer of Change. Okay, so we're going to start not in the place that we were the last session. We're going to start back into the material world, the material realm. So, Moonsong, you've been traveling. Basically, you left your home behind a couple of months ago, investigating these weird occurrences. All of this started when basically spring, or well, the end of winter was it was a very cold, harsh winter for everybody on the plains of Abanasinia. Your parents did as best as they could to help people, as always. For those of you who are not maybe very familiar, the people of the plains, they're usually nomads, but they have outposts in which they live, mostly in late autumn, most of winter, and then they start moving again in spring. And this year, 383, sadly that wasn't possible. The winter was too harsh, and by the end of it, it didn't really let down. Basically, the cold was still on. It was still super strong. People were suffering, and that a little bit had to do, or you thought that maybe connected to your vision and to what you have now on your hands. So I think what would you I imagine maybe your answer, but what would you have done when you basically realized that the wisdom of your parents and your tribe and your people wasn't enough? Where would you have gone after that? Whose guidance or advice would you have looked for in that situation?
If were my mom and my dad wouldn't know to answer.
They were basically as confused as everybody else, but most of the other people were like blaming the gods, as they are wont to do. Sadly, seems to be a tradition among the plains people. But probably I would say that your parents, probably their opinion voiced by your mother, of course, because your mother is the one that speaks the most. Your father is like a little bit stern, and like he says a few words, very important words, but he usually is not that talkative. I think your mother was like, probably the best answer would be to ask the people who know about the stuff. Probably mages and other kinds of people, and the wise, where do the wise gather around. And one of the options, probably they would have mentioned, definitely going literally to the mages which are close by, quote unquote. The Tower of Wyreth is very famous now. It's almost like a pilgrimage now. At some times of the year, people, young mages travel through Solas, pay their homage and respects to Raistlin, and then they go onto the tower. Remember that, according to popular legend, Raistlin Magir saved the world. Basically, stopped the Dark Queen from entering the material realm for the second time. He actually did it twice, according to some of the stories, especially the ones that the mages like the most, of course. And so to now, young mages, pass through Solas, which is to the west west south of where you live, and then they go into the forest of Wereth, looking for the tower to maybe undergo the test or look for a master, that kind of thing. Basically, magical education. That will be an option, but finding the tower if you're not a mage is very hard. Even for mages, it's hard. For a non-mage, would be incredibly hard. Another option would be, and probably the option that would be easier but is a long ways away, would be to travel to Palanthas, maybe to the Solamnia in the north, and maybe see, if people there can help you. Actually, why am I doing this without the map? We have maps for a reason.
I think that I would go. I don't trust mages. I think that I would go to Palanthas.
Sure. Okay, so just for our players and once again the rest of everybody our audience maybe who don't know much about the world, this is Abanasinia. This is the place that I'm describing. These are the plains of Abanasinia, and here we have Solus, which is the famous town, and this is Kekiri, Keshu, which are the ancestral homes of your people. In the plains. So yeah, probably what I was describing was somewhere like around here. Only other option would be the very long travel from here. Probably, I'm gonna just for this. Like something along the lines of like from here up to here, which, as you can see, as the dragon flies, is like 300 miles plus. Just get there. You need to cross the sea and go.
But there is the temple.
Yeah.
There is like the Lady Chrysania that I don't know her, but.
Oh yeah, sure. You've heard of her. Yeah, she's now retired, but she actually there's a new revered son of Paladine who is called Jonah, who was like his apprentice. Her apprentice, sorry. And she's retired, but she still lives in Palanthas. Yeah, and she was the one that was part of the adventures of Raistlin, according to popular legend. Yeah, and also maybe you could find Tanis Half-Elfen as well. He's rumored to usually go to Palanthas. He's an honorary knight of Solamnia, so he gets to participate in some of the politicking, and the all of the stuff with the knights. He usually lives in Qualinesti with her wife, with the Golden General, Lady Laurana. But yeah, probably he can often be found at Palanthas. And Palanthas also has a library, the Great Library, which has probably most of the information that you could ever need about anything. So that would be another option if you want to try like that. Talk to scholarly people, to the aesthetics.
I would go there to Palanthas.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a travel montage. So after probably weeks and weeks of travel, you're very proficient at this. It's not really hard for you to do this. You arrive at Palanthas, and you arrive at Palanthas in a very special date because it is the 20th day of the. I want to say, yeah, it's like the 11th month of the year. It's basically a day before Midsummer Spring. Like there's a spring festival which celebrates the middle of the summer. You've been traveling throughout the spring. The spring was a little bit less cold than the winter, but not by much. And the summer is nowhere to be seen. Like it's still cold. People are still wearing. Basically, you were traveling with your winter clothes, and you were thinking about maybe having to sell them or I don't know, pawn them somewhere after the summer came in full swing, and the summer never came. And now we're about to reach Midsummer's Eve, and as you're approaching the city, have you seen Palanthas before in your life?
No,
Okay.
I never traveled so far. No.
Your people have a lot of skill to survive in the wild and to build beautiful things very quickly and very efficiently, but you've never seen anything like this before. It is, when people say that Palanthas is the jewel of the north, the jewel of Solamnia, they are not far off the target. The construction is magnificent. You didn't know that people could build such things. There are towers and spires going up into the sky, and there are walls surrounding it, and it feels like, once again, probably you've never been to a city. If this is a city, no other settlement you've been in deserves to be called a city. Everything else is like a village or a hamlet, or a town. But this is like a city, a proper city. And the entrance, like lots and lots of people. You can see different colors of skin, faces, races, people, you see elves and other people, Kender running around, dwarves and gnomes. It's such a cosmopolitan place. But not everything is happy in Palanthas. Actually, as you're getting into the city, it is dusk, by the way. The celebration is in the night. You already know, probably at this point, after traveling so much, that war has been a war has been fought throughout the spring and the summer, and now the dreaded Knights of Takhisis are being stopped only by basically the High Cleric's Tower. This is the last place where they're being stopped. There's like a detente there. The Cleric's Tower was a little bit off your path. It's like this is where the Cleric's Tower is, but you probably, as you travel around, probably you got I'm gonna say you probably travel around this, so you go through, maybe you went through the mountains. You can see in the distance that the tower is a misnomer. In reality, it is like a fortress. The tower is the most prominent part of the fortress, but the rest of it is like a huge wall, very thick, very old as well. And that's the last line of defense, basically, between the Knights of Takhisis and basically the domination of all the north, because the rest of the provinces of Solamnia and the rest of the world, Naraka and to the south, they have already been invaded and conquered. They're under the rule of the knights. As you're approaching the gates in dusk, you cannot. You're a hunter, I'm gonna say, by nature. You cannot help but feel fear in the air, the fear of prey. These people, all of these people, are afraid. You can feel this. You can almost imagine the city being clutched by these talons of fear, and all of the people's hearts are gripped by this. And slowly but surely, it's like there's this only maybe one thing that if it happens, it will break them. It will turn into panic. People will lose their capability of thinking rationally. So as you're approaching and you go past the doors, well, of course, you say your name and your state, your name and your lineage, and people let you, like, they doubt you for a second, and then you're like, would you like to try me? Would you like to see if what I'm saying is true? And after that, the guards are like, no, we don't want to, we don't want any problems. They let you through. And as you enter the city, you get this feeling of the mixture between the beauty that I described and, this fear. And it seems to you that as darkness approaches, the night approaches, the ancient glory of the city and its beauty is undimmed, but is in great peril. So, where would you go? The city's huge, by the way, like for your standards. There are many places. Would it be any special places you would be drawn to, or would you walk around a little bit, looking for, maybe your instinct, your steps will take you to the right place?
I would look right away for Lady Chrysania. I mean, sure. I ask the directions, like,
sure.
Where is the tower? I don't know.
Yeah, they tell you that she resides in her family mansion, which is in the old district. So they give you directions, like where to walk, and they say, one of the things, the only thing perhaps, that taints the beauty of the city is a tall tower made of black onyx. And the people, actually, the person you ask is a very nice, I'm gonna say, middle-aged man. He says, lady, you need to stay away from that tower, though. Like, the path goes alongside of it. So if you're too close to that place, you've already been lost, and you need to go back, okay?
But I know what tower is that.
That is the Tower of Hard Sorcery, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a place of evil. Like, I think this is probably the one thing your dad talked about, like, and very, like, that is a place of evil. It's a place of unremittent evil. And it has, like a famous grove around it called the Shoikan Grove.
Yeah.
That is supposedly, it's like puts the fear in the heart of everybody, Kenders included, and it's very hard, to. It's one of those places that is very hard to get towards, without knowing, because you're gonna be, fearing your own life and death as you're approaching it. So you have good directions, so you can just, easily look around for this.
Yeah, I go right. I mean, I know that I don't have much time to figure this out. So I am on a mission, and I'm not here to have a good time. So awesome. I go right away to seek.
Very determined. You start walking, like following the directions, and as you're doing, and this is the first sign of things not going your way. You don't know why, you don't know how, but you find yourself going through an alley, like a street, and the street goes into an alleyway, and then you see in the distance what looks like a mist, and there are some trees here, and you feel something. Elakir is the name, or Elakir? How do you Elakir? Elakir starts vibrating. Like, and you know that this is like a sign of, and then you're ahead, but then you're, like you're shooting, like Elakir likes probably, this kind of thing, it's like, yeah, let's hunt something,
So I take it out and be ready. And I think that this mist appears for a reason, so I step right to it.
So as you're approaching very bravely, without fear in your heart, grabbing Elakir on one hand and ready for anything, you see that
I have a symbol of Mishakal in. I also wear one.
Awesome. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and probably very very important for everybody, among your people, especially family, that kind of thing. And as you're approaching, the mist all of a sudden stops being a mist. And you see almost like a mirror. It's like a watery thing. And you see something on the other side of the watery thing.
Is this a portal to a plane?
Probably. You've never seen anything.
That.
Yeah,
I can
say that.
I can use my superpower.
Yeah, sure.
Detect portal.
Yeah. You feel it. This goes to another place. And you see a vision. The first vision you see is of a greenish, dark bluish place with a huge dragon made out of bones attacking some people, and these people are fighting against the dragon. And like when the dragon spews, instead of fire or acid or lightning, what comes out of it is the essence of death. And these people are able to withstand that and to fight and everything.
I watch them, and I watch them how they fight and how their powers, to...
You see, you analyze them, you see a Knight of Solamnia who is like very dexterous and brave. Like, if you're brave, like, you can call yourself brave. This knight breathes bravery. Like, goes straight into the dragon's head, not caring about his well-being or anything. Brandishing a great sword, that shines with the light of the moon. The other one looks like a young man, but with a huge burden on his shoulders. He is bold, and he's, like all the time. And he does stuff that I've only heard in the stories of your family. Basically, your mother has told you about this, your father as well. He brings people back from the dead. Literally puts back their souls into their bodies and commands them to come back to life. And the last one, surprise, the other two mix very well and look like, oh, sure, the kind of pair that you would read about or hear songs about. The third one is a minotaur.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid for them. He's going to attack them. What the hell?
And the minotaur fights as bravely as the rest of them and with them, not against them. But he doesn't look like you would imagine a minotaur. Like, in your head, minotaurs were like, broad and, with booming voices, like super, like in your face and very, like, once again, brave. This one is more like a sly minotaur, if such thing exists. More like trickery and deception. He dresses in black. wears a hood over his horns and fights in a very different manner that you would expect. And they're actually is able to summon some like shadow energy as well against this creature. And as they're fighting, you see a vision basically within this vision. And that vision is of a place that is probably the most horrible place in all the worlds, in all the possibilities. And there is someone there in that place, which makes it even worse. This is the vision you see. I'm putting in a roll. It's a place that seems to be burning. And there is only the shriveled, withered humanity, crooked and bent, dressed in basically tattered robes that were once black, grabbing a piece of, like, basically a branch that he's using as a walking staff. And there is this it's not even darkness, it's just, like this red burning, this red ending, and ashes in the sky. And there is a windswept field that has nothing in it, barren and wasted. In the same way, you once encountered something that nobody except your parents believe you did, even if you do have clear proof and testimony of what happened. You feel that nobody's going to believe this, but this is probably where you should go. You feel that answers are on the other side of this.
So I go through the portal.
Okay. And as you go through the portal, you see all these people now the two visions collide and collapse, and the dragon is no more. Its bones actually made up a sort of bridge behind you, and there's these three people approaching the man with crooked and withered, sitting on a stone basically on the ground. There are some designs on the robes, that are golden. Once again, all of them tattered and worn down. And yeah, you see where the man takes off his hood, and the face you see there is a face that everybody would know in Kryn, would know who it is because of the description. It's like golden skin, all white hair, the eyes golden as well, and made out of hourglass, in the shape of an hourglass each. And this is what you know who that is.
So I think that now I'm a little bit afraid.
Okay. And you see where the man takes off the hood and he says, "Well, and who are you?" And he's like talking about these three, but he's looking at you as well. So, okay, everybody. The three of you, Karas, Jonah, and Alrath, you're approaching Raisling when Raisling is looking to the side, and you see this. Can you describe yourself, Moonsong? How do you look like? How do you look and everything else?
I'm a very tall woman.
Yeah.
Like 1.80 m. Someone translate, please.
1 meter 8.
6 feet. Yeah, like 6
Yeah.
feet. 6 feet and something.
And very thin, but you can see that she's strong, like athletic. She carries a bow in her hand, made of like some sort of crystal, and she carries furs. She's with different types of clothes made of fur, and she shows her arms that are with some paintings. She has olive skin and black hair, straight hair, and that's it.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna change an image of her, graciously provided by Hero Forge. We created that in Patty created that in Hero Forge. Can someone remember what is the? Oh shit! Okay, now I remember. I didn't remember the shortcut. Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ooh.
That's how Moonsong looks like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does
It's super
she-
badass.
Yeah.
Badass is the descriptor.
As she is appearing, does she looks like hostile, confused? What is her demeanor?
Like that face.
Yeah, few friends. The face of having few friends in life. Yeah.
Very calm, but very like focused on each one of you, and but not aggressive in any way. But ready to action, you can tell.
So I'm sheathing my sword on my back.
Sure.
I'm going to ask in one side, away of the party to the another party. Do you know her?
Like, oh, that's a pretty good question. Would any of them know her? I don't think so. Well, I'm gonna say that the Mender, she says, I think she's from the plains of Abanasinia. I would say, for the way she looks and the way she dresses, definitely she must be from the place.
Mm-hmm.
And like, the was like, yeah, sure, probably that. Yeah, never been there, but you know the descriptions.
Sure.
Your sister is uncharacteristically silent.
For a while now, if I remember.
Yep.
It's been minutes only from that part. Yeah.
Minutes or eternities as you travel the plains.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it
So-
felt like eternity.
So maybe when I see everyone like looking around and not saying anything, maybe.
Yeah.
You
I'm
see
going
you see
to-
the miniature ask a question, but not to the party, to the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah.
So to the side.
Right. Talking to
Well-
the air.
She looks at Raistlin. She knows who
Yeah.
he is. That says Lord Raistlin. I come from the tribe of the Geshu.
Yes, I can tell that. I've never been called Lord. Call me Raistlin. That's all that I have left. You look familiar to me. Why? You're too young. I've never met you before. Why do you look
You
familiar?
met my mother and my father.
Ah.
Is that so?
Yes.
And
I've
you
been
see
sent-
like his eyes like shining a little bit, yeah.
I've been sent by them. And I guess that these people are also in the same quest that I have been sent to. My name is Moonsong, daughter of Riverwind and Goldmoon.
Okay.
Does any of those names ring
Yes.
a
For
bell?
those of you, she just made the biggest mic drop in our campaign so far, probably. Goldmoon and Riverwind are two of the fabled heroes of the lands who went along racing and everything. And Goldmoon was the first cleric in 350 plus years in talking to the gods and turning to. She was the first cleric, basically. Because of her, the clerics of good and neutrality came back into the world and were able to help everybody in the war. And she's claiming that she's the daughter of both of them, like of Goldmoon and Riverwind. And yeah, so
So I have the colors of my father,
Yeah.
but the face similar to my mother.
yeah.
For
That's the
Sargas,
thing.
that's impressive.
I'm gonna just look at Jonah silently, like
Yeah.
Well
with
met.
this development, with
Moonsong.
the intent, like this development is like,
It's good. That sort of his attitude is. I owe a great deal to the actions of your parents,
Oh,
but we come on a grave quest. We believed we sought to save the forces of good. We may, in fact, be the only hope that all of creation has. The only hope that the gods have. And in that regard, they have empowered us. but we need your help. And this is to
Well,
Raistlin.
my mother had some visions, and so did I. So I'm glad that I met you.
The young lady here introduced herself. You should do the same.
I am Jonah Clerk, Light of the Prism, favored son of Paladine, and I was mentored by the Lady Chrysania, who spoke occasionally of you.
Nice to meet you, Jonah.
I am
Not a favored son anymore, says Raistlin and smiles a little bit.
I'm afraid not.
Sorry, Keras, please go ahead.
I am Keras Netma. You can call me Keras. That's all that he said.
She greets you.
Sir Haldrath Windblood of the Knights of Solamnia, Order of the Rose.
Great heroes. I watched your fight. I'm impressed.
I think he looks like the type of person who is not usually impressed by anything.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is off character, but does the fight have a like button?
Yeah. We were streaming the
Yeah.
fight.
Apparently.
Literally.
Yeah.
You seem to know a bit about us, but sadly I cannot say the same. But my companion speaks true. We need the aid of this man, and I'm looking at Raistlin.
As I described to Moonsong, he's sitting on a rock, basically on a round, soft rock, and resting. Basically, even then he looks fragile and resting like most all of his weight on this walking staff. And he says, "It seems that you do. It seems you know more than I do, though, in this case. Why have you come here? And why have you brought your own bodies? I thought I was the only one foolish enough to do so."
Foolish.
Of course. You now cannot leave in the easier way. It's only the hard way for you.
Our journey began with the invasion of the Knights of Takhisis, who seemed to have the support of their deity, the power of their mages, where ours failed. Our prayers would occasionally fail us. The mages they could not reliably cast their spells. They attempted to do battle against the knights and experienced great power of not given to them by the moon in their spells. And we could not find our gods. They were not helping us in this conflict. That was our source for this quest, and yet we have discovered that the reason that the gods have turned their eyes from the mortal realm is because they appear to be involved in a greater conflict. A conflict that requires all of their energy. And that should they fail, it will not matter who rules over mortals.
All are fighting.
Interesting. If our circumstances were different, I would only believe the last part of what you said. Knights? Serving the Dark Queen? This is all the Dark Queen wishes for the world. And like, He points to you all around, to all the desolation and destruction. How could anybody sworn an oath to defend her in such a situation? She is only ruled by fear and might, nothing else.
And
The
fear
leader
and
and-
might is what the Knights of Takhisis bring, just in a different form.
Their leader and founder is a man of great vision. He learned the values of the Knights of Solamnia and implemented that discipline, that loyalty, even a fashion of honor. And now they serve her.
Forgive me, but I cannot help but laugh. Of course, that was the only way.
Elena,
Mm-hmm.
can I do an insight to see if that that love is some kind
Genuine?
of genuine or is some kind of oh, forgot the name, taunt?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll insight. Sure.
It's 12.
Very good. You've never seen a person in your life, of any race, of any kind, more bitter than the one you have in front of you. This person has no taste for mockery, or all of the taste for mockery, but if he's mocking you all the way, every 100% of the time, or he's not mocking you at all. That laughter had no joy in it. It was the most bitter laughter you've ever seen. It was like that kind of laughing because the only other instance would be crying. That kind of thing.
How much did you know about the whole situation here in your prison?
He smiles at you. Well said, Sir Knight. Yes, I am a prisoner, and now so are you. We're all prisoners here. There are no cells and no bars. But do not mistake yourself. This is a prison. Answering your question, I didn't know much, only rumors here and there. This is not a well-connected place, should you say. So everything I learned, I just gathered from the shades that go around here. And like he looks around and like he says, he sees, he seems to see something, and out of the corner of your eye, you can perceive the same idea of, this kind of shadows. Like, have you ever had this experience in real life? Like, see out of the corner of your eye, like a shadow moving, or like a shape, like a dog shape. That is the kind of feeling you get, in this situation. So, why have you come here, then? You're still seeking the gods.
We must travel through the plains, from this the lowest of them, until we reach the highest. We had a choice on which abyssal plane we visited, which evil god who held sway. We chose this, hoping to find you.
So congratulations.
That is new. No one has ever looked for my company willingly. Hope you're enjoying the view.
Can you guide us?
Sure, but and like he touches and looks at his hand and like clears his lips a little bit, says, Sure. Probably her would do better. She looks more knowledgeable than I am, but I can give you something that none of you possesses. The only thing I have left.
Elena, I have a mechanical question. I wanted to ask you this before. As a phantom, I can choose a skill and have proficiency at the start of any short rest. For short rest. But I need to choose in the short rest. I haven't chosen it.
No.
Can I do this in this for this moment using medicine? Basically, I'm asking the mender to help me see why is coughing.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll medicine with proficiency, because she's like, and I would like to say, I'm gonna ask you, but I would like to say is like, she kind of possesses you a little bit, like your hands. It's not something uncomfortable, but it's kind of weird, like your hands moving a different way and everything.
So
and as you approach,
it's 13 for the +5 of the proficiency.
Yeah, the proficiency. Yeah. So she tells you, I have an idea, but I will need to examine him. So ask him, she says.
You don't look in the best of your conditions.
He looks at you with piercing eyes, and you see the 2 hourglasses almost like squinting.
I'm smiling now.
You looks like you never like her face like, what the hell are you doing? You haven't heard the stories? Like,
yeah, kind of like that thing. Yeah, have you heard of the stories? Awesome. Yeah, know, like the one.
We need to tell.
This is the one person that was living under a rock, literally.
Yeah.
Didn't know the stories.
and this is a minute that he doesn't know about the stories.
Awesome. Yeah, sure. She looks at you and then she says, "Aren't you a sweetheart?
Sometimes.
Was broken long ago. I paid with my health and something else for a gift that no one has received before me and no one will after me. Well, unless they're worthy of it."
Okay, now Geras is confused. I'm looking at Johann.
It is not something that we can... I do not believe it is something we can heal.
Oh, you could. And he looks at you like, almost like there's it's almost like a lust in his eyes when he says this. You could now. But I don't think you would. Or I don't think you will. But if I had what you have, Light of the Prism, things would be very different.
I wish I did not have it.
Of course you do. Such is the way of the world. Be careful though. It is a burden and a boon. And if you die now, it's over. He dies as well. He lives inside of you. And if you die, goodbye miracles, goodbye balance. Doesn't matter if you save the world. There won't be any balance in the world left.
I'm looking at Jonah like side eyes, a bit confused.
Get us to...
What are they talking about?
Geras is like, what did you do?
I did nothing.
No, I'm not vocalizing. It's the expression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Haven't you told your friends?
There hasn't been much time, and speaking it made it more real. Perhaps literally. I don't know how it works.
Let me help you then. Your friends, you have in front of you something that probably has never happened before in the history of Kryn. A mortal that's a vessel for a god. Paladine the Draco. The Platinum Dragon lives inside of your friend. He is now Paladine. All that is left of him, I should say. I've looked with his eyes and see everything decay and die. You are the first being I've ever seen that looks alive. Ever since the test. So long ago.
Like looking at Jonah, just mutter. I'm gonna mutter. When?
When we faced the Archon, we needed the strength to prevail and to enter. And perhaps we will need it again.
Archon? Who is this Archon you speak of?
The guardian and
Arbiter?
judge of God's home.
Our pursuer.
Indeed.
What? That is not possible.
A lot of things aren't possible until they are.
That is true. But if you speak the truth, then that means that the Archon has been corrupted. It's no longer serving whoever created it. Those beings have no will of their own. They only have protocols and computations.
Would it have required an external force to corrupt it? Or could it have happened through lack of maintenance, inattention?
Both are possibilities, but I would guess the latter rather than the former. I don't think anybody has reached God's home since the Night of Doom.
We did.
Yes, clearly.
And he looks at you. Of course you did.
Actually, I'm going to turn to look at Moonsong now. Moonsong was your name, right?
Yes.
You said that you came here because your mother and you had a vision.
Mm-hmm.
What did you saw?
What did we saw, Elena?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Basically, well, your mother had a vision of something devouring the world. That was the way she described it. Like, it was like a huge maw gnawing and eating the world. And when you were investigating this vision the first time was when you encountered something that is impossible. That is what the origin of Alec here and everything.
So something appeared that wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah. They're not supposed to exist. They've never been, as far as you know and your parents know, and neither the people you were able to consult. Nobody has ever heard about these beings that you encounter. At least one of them. Maybe there are more. Yeah.
So I tell you that my mother had a vision of something devouring our world. She was quite frightened of that vision. So I tried also to go into a trance, and I saw something similar to it. Something is not right. Something is stepping in and changing our order of the world.
To eat the world, shouldn't be necessary to eat the gods first.
It didn't. She didn't saw that in the vision. She just saw something eating everything.
Where did you get that bow from, though? I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I saw a being, a dragon-like entity, but one I never heard before, made of some precious stone. And he gave me this scroll. Just like my mother, everyone thought that I was crazy, but something similar that happened to her in the past, but well, I have it.
The whole course of history was changed because your mother believed your father when he spoke about the blue blister stuff, so I imagine you had the lucky to be born with the best parents possible for your circumstances.
Get us wings.
Family issues, chosen of Sargas.
I'm not going to respond.
Cool.
Kind of intelligent. It doesn't speak to me, but I can tell that it warns me, or something is there. It's not just.
And like here is tense at this moment, by the way. Like tense. You can almost feel the vibrations. It's not like the vibration from before. It's just kind of the tension of what's going on here. This could turn into something dangerous like in a second. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are talking a lot, but do not make any progress. What are we going to do? What are we going to decide?
I can help you to get out of here and to go on your insane quest.
But
What's in it for me?
What do you want?
Oh, what I want I would never get. So
you
doesn't
wouldn't be a
matter.
fool to ask something that we cannot give.
It's not that. He can give it to me now. And he points towards Yona. No. And for a moment you see him looking at Jonah, looking at all of you, looking at and almost like evaluating, like that meme of the woman calculating everything.
What use can I get from these fools?
And then or more like
Sizing us up?
yeah. Could I take on all of
Yeah.
these? Could I take on all of them before shit goes down?
I am not full.
This is-
Oh wait, I have an 8 of intelligence.
Yeah. And then he says, looks down and says, no. I renounced those dreams long ago. They're only nightmares now.
If you renounce them, would you perhaps be open to hearing nightmares that could come in the future? If you help us, we could prevent them from happening.
Of course. You're all so good, so selfless. And I'm evil and selfish, aren't I?
Most of the time, but some of the stories, there's a moment. You have nephews, nieces,
Yes.
family. They speak your name as a hero, when most of the world does not. Some of us, and I point to Moonsong and then to myself, have heard stories of both, and how we choose to remember you is our choice. But there are those who are proud of you, who follow in your footsteps, or what they believe to have been your footsteps. If you do not help us, their paths will be erased before they have a chance to walk on them.
He stands up very suddenly, and for a moment, you all fear that he could do something that you wouldn't like. And then he leans once again into the staff and almost collapses and says, "Fools, the lot of you. Fools the believers, fools the non-believers. There are no heroes. There's only people. Good and evil are tags, etiquettes that you use to put on people to make things easier. There's nothing like that. I'm here because of what I did, both good and evil. And I would like a respite from all my sacrifice. So I will help you. I will lead you to where you need to go. But I only ask you, O great Dragon Father, in all of your mercy, grant me escape from here. Send me somewhere else. Somewhere where maybe my nightmares aren't as awful as here. The Dark Queen holds no love for me and has all the time in the world to torture me. The only reason you found me is because she's not here now. I thought she was in the world, but it doesn't seem like it. And she wipes away the blood from his mouth again and says, "Come on. We got ourselves some places to go."
So, Jonah prays for guidance and is trying to figure out, like, this is the most dangerous man to have ever lived.
Yep. Good assessment.
But he has been a hero who has saved the world, and if he does this, he would be saving far more than just the world, so
Yep.
it's fair to reward him, even, and particularly if the reward is a reprieve of a punishment.
Yep.
But because of the man's reputation, he's still trying to figure out.
He has credentials.
Yeah, because there is a thing in the back of Jonah's mind who's like, there's no way that a mortal man is able to engineer a crisis that could endanger all of creation and all of the gods. Except for this one, because he's almost done it before.
Yep.
Oh.
Almost, yeah.
See,
I
this happened when you live in a ship all your life. You lose all this information.
It's okay. So, this is the thing. I'm going to do something weird perhaps here, but you rolled so high, by the way, for our viewers, if you're not looking at this. You roll a 32 on an insight check. This is beyond the limits of D&D. D&D 5e stops at 30. I'm going to let you, as a player, Danielle, and all of you, if you want to consult your other players here as well.
I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
If I see Jonah, like, doubt.
Yeah.
It's less of a doubt, it's more of a closing the eyes and praying, like hand to the symbol of Paladine
So
around
half
his
the
neck.
time.
Yeah.
So I say, now we need all the help we can get. Later, we have to figure out the problems that we did to solve this. So one problem at a time.
Thank you.
We need him. Later, we see if we screwed up and solve or not the next problem.
Lesser of two evil?
Yes.
I like her.
Evil is just a tag, I say to Wrestling. So, as a player, I am very much like, the reason I love wrestling so much is because of those moments. Like, if he didn't care, then it would be a villain protagonist who kind of has these sidekicks who are doing heroic stuff, and then it's at the end he would win, because at the end he would betray the heroes who have already defeated the other villains, and he would reign supreme. So, as a player, my belief is, right now he is being honest. It may be that later once if we do manage to grant him reprieve, find him a place of rest on a neutral plane, then maybe if he sees an opportunity, he may be tempted. Like, if he realizes, in this plane things could be different, maybe. But at the moment, I have faith in him. That if nothing else, he wants a reprieve of this punishment.
So do you agree?
Thank you. We will accept your aid, and if it is within our power, we will grant you a reprieve.
Good to know. And like he takes one step after another and starts walking, basically, throughout this desolate and barren wasteland.
I begin to follow.
Me too.
Oh. On the way there, just a little thing.
A short rest?
No. I have heard some stories about you. I'm not so starstruck, if it's even the right word. Would you like to play a game of dragon chess on our way there? We can memorize the pieces.
I look at Jonah like, what companions do you have? Like,
Yep. This is like the coolest night, and he says, "I can play in my head. Let's play if you wish it, Sir Knight."
Okay. I would like to play a game of dragon chess with the, I don't know, smartest men alive.
Yeah,
And
amazing.
fucking lose in 2 moves, but try to do my thing. That
You're doing it, yeah. It's something else. It's not for this. It's like it's not for the game.
I don't play to win. I play to know the
Yeah,
other
to understand your opponent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I have heard of wrestling only in stories and by proxy to Jonah. And the only thing I like, the conclusion is this is a man of great ambition.
Yeah.
So I went to look and try to in this very brief game.
Yeah.
What kind of moves are there? They express confidence, they express doubt, that kind of stuff I'm looking for. And I'm going to fucking lose.
Who knows? Maybe you roll better. Like the dice are the dice. I'm gonna roll. Yeah, I'm gonna actually roll in the open. I'm gonna show you what he rolls.
Okay.
So.
What do you need?
No, because you're using your ability. You're using the the dragon chest to read him. So if I remember correctly, you do that with insight or something else.
Can I use my charisma on the insight?
Yeah, let me check. But we did this from the Sanathar book.
Yeah.
We were using those rules. So let me check those.
Dragon chess.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is true.
If we're not taking a short rest, I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds, because I don't want to run into anything else.
Gain an insight, DC 15. It says.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah. So in this case, that is. Let me check. Something about this is the gaming tools. Yeah, this is the one on the gaming tools. Yeah, gaming set, history, sleight of hand, insight. Okay, I'm gonna allow you to roll insight, but instead of using wisdom, use your charisma.
All right. Yeah, because it's like a social thing that I'm doing.
Because playing to, and by the way, this is something I don't know if it's in reality, but I would use it that way. You can use this kind of games, to sort of, use your moves to represent words and your way of talking and approaching someone and maybe you can bait someone into saying more than they want, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He looks at you when you're doing this, and he says, "That is not wise. If you need to rest, we can. You have all the time in the world here.
We can take a long rest then.
Time doesn't pass."
Do you need a long rest?
Do you need a long rest?
No, I'm fine. I just need to roll hit dice.
Let me check.
I use
Because
two
I rest you,
spells.
but that was against the Archon. And
We had a long rest.
I have a 4th level spell slot, 2/3, and I have the whole 1st level. I spent only my 2nd and 1/3 level.
Talk about this. I'll be back in just a second, okay?
Okay.
Resource-wise, I used fairly, like... I didn't use many spells. Like, I was using low-level stuff. Like, I was concentrating on Bless, and... So,
I can do it with...
my main
with
issue is the 100 hit points that I'm missing.
Yes.
I'm missing 104, so yeah. I don't know if the short rest is gonna be enough.
I'm missing half. It's like like 60 points. And in resource, I only use two spell slots and one sorcery point.
So, yeah, I think we would take advantage of a bit of Reistling's hospitality and take a short rest here, and probably we fill in Moonsong on all the stuff that's happened. The fact that we
Digo,
escaped.
like, where are we going? I didn't
Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
So we came flying
You want to go
and
where?
enter
Yeah.
God's home, then we
Yeah,
go
3
out-
dragons, then 1 big dragon in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Are we telling stories?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I think
we'll
we are
we'll take a
taking-
short rest where we fill in Moonsong on the things that have happened and how we discover things. We'll mention to Reisling the mage of, I think she was the, she was the head of the White Robes. Like she was the
That,
who was waiting for us at the entrance to God's home but could not follow us.
yeah.
Or was she
And-
just a white robe?
Yeah, I said, oh. No, she was the head of the White
Yeah.
Robes. She presented herself as such. Interesting. Once again, good and evil just tags. Why did the chosen of Sargas allow to be entered God's home? And not someone that is devoted to make the world a better place through magic. And there's such a sarcasm in that devoting like yourself to magic to make the world a better place, you know, like it's like he's saying the stupidest thing in his mind, you know.
Keras is gripping his dagger so hard right now.
I'm going to roll persuasion because with the proficiency and the charisma, it's going to be
Oh, cool.
the
Yeah.
same.
The same roll. Yeah. That was pretty good. This is Raistling's roll.
That was
Yeah.
an 11. That was not good.
No, but in
good.
total
Yeah.
it's of 21.
You're a very
It's pretty
persuasive
good.
speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, this is not the result of the game. This is a result of your
Yeah.
your attempt. Okay, so the hardest thing about this, about what you're doing, is that you somehow, and maybe you don't like this, it's up to you, but you find yourself in the presence of someone that is not unlike you in many ways. You have a father who never understood you, never loved you properly, who has never said a kind word to you in your life, who's never been there for you, and you grew up to be strong and determined and to become a father to others, to be different from him. This man had no father and grew up to be someone that required that kind of worshipping devotion, of being someone more powerful than the rest, the one who had the answers, the one who could be consulted upon. you think about Elena. You think about, everybody on the moon chase. They look up to you. Is this dating different? You grew up with a loving sister, a loving older sister, one who cared for you more than your father ever could or would, who basically gave her life in many ways to protect you and to have you go on and be who you are. This man had the same. But I imagine that you love your sister even now. He hated his brother for it. Hated him. Because he felt weak because of it. Because it was a reminder of what he didn't have. So he couldn't take the kindness without the slap on his face about how unworthy he felt. And the last thing is, you'll probably be willing to lay down your life to save somebody else's. And I'm not talking about your friends, I'm not talking about your family, I'm not talking about the people that you love, I'm not even talking about the world. I think you would lay down your life to save someone like Raceland. And he would never, ever do that. Not because he can, but because he had the chance, had a happy life, had love and understanding, and he chose something else. And I would say, I'm gonna leave it up to you, but you can either win the game or you can lose the game, but in such a manner that it reveals that you're willing to lose and he's not.
I started this game not playing to win, just playing to defeat it before it started.
Yeah.
So that would show in my game that I was just delaying my defeat, trying to get information on him, and whether I think I would lose because I didn't came here with the resolve to win, and I think that would show because he knows. I think he's smart enough to know the game.
I'm not gonna go through the game and everything, but just in a way so you get an idea. Maybe it's exhausting. It lasts the whole hour, and it is piece after piece after piece after piece, movement and counter movement, traps and then counter traps, and at first he's playing very nonchalantly, moving the pieces along, and actually he doesn't move the pieces, with his hand. He uses a mage hand to do so. He conjures, a little mage hand that moves the pieces around. And then at some point, he stops using the hand. He starts moving it with his own hands, very quickly going around in the moves and everything. And by the end of it, he's sweating profusely. And then he wins and looks at you and says, "I hope you got enough out of this."
A lot. I would like the rematch if everything goes correctly and you don't betray the trust my friend is placing upon you.
He looks at you and says, "Your friend is lucky to have you by his side."
I'm gonna just collect the pieces and. Are we taking a short rest?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, short rest. Everybody spend some.
I use so many hit dice.
Yeah.
Me too.
I can see, probably the people looking at the channel like, why are they throwing so many freaking dice? They're using hit dice, everybody. We're using a short rest. That's what we're doing. And remember, you need to add your constitution modifier to that.
Yeah, this is something that I had not expected in tier 3.
Do I have to roll everything at once?
As I am what is the name of my class? I forget the
Horizon Walker?
Oh, right, it's a
Yeah.
Horizon Walker that
Yep.
knows about planes. I mean, that's
Sure.
my question. Do I know about other planes of existence?
Yep, of course, yeah, sure. So I'm gonna
Because-
say you know more than anybody here.
Okay, because
So-
since Raislin said that time goes different here,
Yeah.
that's my question. Is like, is that correct? Can
Yeah.
tell-
It is once again is one of those he's dumbing it down in a way. Time passes by here, but the thing is that the sensation of time it is extremely different from that of the material realm, because this place is in a way configured or made to make time seem eternal, because it's a torture place. It's a torture cell in a way. So the thing is that if you spend here an hour, you feel like you spent an hour and you get the benefits of it and blah 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 in the game, but in reality it's probably more like a second.
Okay.
So when you
Okay.
think about it in that scale, like 10 hours or 10 seconds, you know.
Okay.
A year is like, I don't know. So that's why he says time doesn't pass here, because in reality it's so small, like the time you're spending here compared to the time that is passing on in the material world. Yeah, it feels like one of those things.
And what he
So-
said about we can't get out.
Yeah. Okay. So you know this. If you have two ways to traveling the planes. You can go through your astral body, which requires some meditation or something like that along those lines. And in that case, you travel with your mind, basically, your spirit and everything, and your body stays behind.
Yeah,
That
we
is-
didn't do that.
No.
We are here.
That
Okay.
allows it that if your astral body is destroyed or harmed, basically you wake up, and depending on how bad the damage is, how traumatic the event was, you'll probably wake up in your bed, feeling a little bit bad. You have a couple of days with a headache, and that's about it.
Okay.
If you go with your body, though, it's like you are now ruled by the laws of the place. And this place, by the way, this is like in a way me making stuff up, but these are
Yeah.
my rules, so we need to follow those. So
Yeah.
the abyss is really for me the name of all the realms of the gods of darkness. So basically there are 7 realms here. No, 6 really. 1 per each god of darkness apart from Nuitari. Because Nuitari's realm is really the black moon. It's not here. So the thing is that you are now in the abyss, in the part that belongs to Takhisis, to the Dark Queen.
Right.
And in this case, this is a place in which is a chaotic place. In the first, it's chaotic evil. It's this total annihilation and destruction. But this place has like one thing, which is there's no way out. There's no mercy. There's no forgiveness. There are no laws. There's no way of getting better here, or the punishment is eternal, and that's it. Punishment and destruction, no way around it. No loophole. Nothing, because there are no rules. If the group had gone, for example, to other place like Sargonas's realm, that is a lawful evil realm. So in that place, things are different. You have rules and statutes, stuff, and everything. Yeah, a neutral evil place is different as well. So the idea is that is in a way the idea. And you know that basically in the way that I'm interpreting this, there are basically 3 main categories between the planes outside of Crane, like the material realm, which are the abyss, which it has 6 realms, which are the realm 1 per god of darkness. There is the hidden veil, which has another 6 realms dedicated to the gods of neutrality. And then we have the dome of creation, which has 6 realms, 1 for each god of the gods of light. And the idea is that apart from those, of course, there are other planes, planes that have to do with elements and all of that thing. But these are the planes that have to do with the gods and what we're doing here, basically.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that will be what you know about. And so that is what you know. And I think what is what you know about this place? I don't
No,
think
I
we've
wanted
ever
to
been
know
here.
if what
No.
basically is like, okay, he's saying truth. Maybe I don't know all of it, but
Yeah.
that's correct. Like,
Sounds
Well,
about
okay.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in a
sounds
way,
right,
I
yeah.
think you are the most qualified out of the people here, except from. And once
That's why
again,
I'm
Raisin, you probably know this already, but he's pretty good at making himself sound like the smartest person in the room.
yeah.
But he's not always. There's stuff that he doesn't know about. He didn't know about what you were doing.
Do we
For example.
out of game?
Yeah.
Kitiara, do we know of her? Is she still alive? Do we know
that's a
this?
very good question.
I mean, suddenly.
Didn't we hear like our characters about the attack of the blue on Palanthas
Yeah.
or something
The
like
blue
that?
lady.
Yeah, the Blue Ladies War. Yeah, that would happen a couple of years after the end of the War of the Land proper, and according to the legend, she was killed by Dalamar the Dark in the Tower of High Sorcery.
Okay,
in
already
Palanthas.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened
that's-
20. Actually, that happened the year that you were born. I think. Like
By the way,
couple
I'm
of
like
years.
30 years old. You see
27,
me?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
saying
good.
like you see me. Yeah, I more or less 30 years.
Yeah. You look rough. Like you look.
I
tough,
look rough.
Like
I
someone
look
that-
like someone
yeah.
who is all the day under the sun, the wind, the snow. So my face is like really with lines,
Exactly. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Maybe other people could be scared of your character. Kerasis, okay, I see that. It's game with the family.
So
Yeah.
I think in this short rest we put you up to speed of what we are trying to do and doing so far.
Yeah.
So I
Basically, yeah.
say I'm here to help. We have to figure this out and do what is right.
If your parents are acquaintance with the master of Jonan, you can come with me for help.
Thank you. Yeah, I've heard of Jonah.
But by the way, I don't think I asked you this before. How did you get here?
I
Because-
traveled. I saw a portal and I was looking for Lady Chrysania in first
Where?
Portal where?
on Palanthas. I think that someone brought me here on purpose.
There was a portal in Palanthas, so why we are
Yes.
why we did all that work?
I don't know. I watched you fight, and I felt that this was the path that I should take to cross the portal to you all and help.
Portal was probably lucky chance, if anything. And I think
it was
it's a
one
very
way.
bad. It's a very bad sign.
Yes, portals to the abyss should not be opening anywhere, let alone Palanthas. Has this happened to you before? Is it a you thing or is it creation?
No, I don't think you created it, but you've gone through portals before. Yeah, you can detect them. You probably closed some of them. Yeah.
I can
creatures
go
coming from
through.
under.
I can go to another plane, but I have to go back for a time, and then I come back to the plane that I came from. So I can jump, but only me, to another plane. A particular plane, not whichever.
Okay.
I can detect portals.
That should be very
Very
useful.
useful.
Yeah.
I turn to Reisling. I believe we're looking for one now. I'm unclear on exactly what we search for.
Okay, you're now walking. I'm going to imagine
Yeah.
you're walking
Yeah.
now, and he says, "You're about to meet the jailer." if this place had a jailer.
Oh.
It's a great demon called Aborag, the Pain Master.
Wonderful.
As the name suggests, or the position suggests, this demon is not going to let us leave this place willingly.
I wouldn't surmise so. So, since we're in good terms, we're friends now. And he smiles like, he's once again, he's like saying like a dirty word. He says, the gods must be somewhere. I don't know where, but if they're not in their planes and they're not in God's home, then there must be someplace else. To reach them, however, whenever they are, they must have had some guards, some wards around them. In order to pass through them, you need keys. Well, of course, they're not gonna be literal keys to open doors. You need signs, sigils of the gods' willingness to let you go through them. If the rumors are true, and what I've studied is as well, if you kill Aborag and claim his heart, you could use that as a sigil to show that you're in the Dark Queen's good graces.
What is going to happen to the other people here after their jailer is gone?
Probably they'll put someone else in charge, someone worse. Thinking about this place.
All right.
Aborag is not only the pain master and the jailer of this place. He's the keeper of the only door that I can think of that will lead you out of here.
We came to you for guidance. We will do as you say.
Again, the lesser of two evil.
Let us remember that we are being pursued by the Archon. So let's try to finish this before we became engaged in two fronts.
So
Okay.
I turn to you. Well, everyone say, I saw you guys bring people from the dead.
Yeah.
I have something. I can't use it, but I think that it would be good in case some of us fall. So I take out 2 diamonds.
Huh.
I
30 gold.
Well done, yeah.
So
I could use one of those because
You used one before.
on you.
So I say, if this is the jailer, I think that we should be ready. So, and I
Indeed.
hand it to whatever who wants to take it.
I'm gonna take one because and
How much are
I
they
have
worth?
only one.
What?
300?
Are they
300
diamonds?
each one.
Yeah, review 5.
Yeah.
And
I'll
So
take one
take
as
it
well,
away.
because the
I have
diamonds that I
2.
have are worth more.
2 ones of 300. So I'm going to
review
delete
5,
them.
like
and
the
I-
rest of us.
Mhm.
So yeah, I have 2 now.
My
I have 2 now.
my broke hands want a diamond, but I know they won't need it.
You
So-
have a diamond?
No, I say
They
that
want them
I want
as a
them
thief.
As a thief.
Yeah. They're very nice.
Shiny.
Shinies, yeah, for sure.
But I know John, and I know and I know Chandra. I know the real value of the diamond.
Exactly, yeah.
I won't steal it from them.
Okay, so, since you're traveling through the plains, usually you wouldn't have any chance to do any of this, but you're traveling with someone that knows the way around stuff instinctively, even. So, I'm gonna allow you, Moonsong, to give us a survival check, and you can guide the group through through the plane as you're going around and everything.
Survival.
I would like to give you guidance.
Okay.
If
That's
you
plus
if you want, I can
+3.
I can help.
+3. Okay. So I'm rolling.
I don't think you have the knowledge in this case,
Oh.
Keras. Like that would be applied. I know you have proficiency, but this is about knowing how to travel a plane. It's not like the natural world.
Okay,
Look
okay.
at that.
27.
Woo.
Excellent.
Let me-
Okay, because of that, there won't be any random encounters.
Oh.
Fight the jailer. Fight
we have to be fresh to fight the
Yep.
fucking demon.
That's true.
And
We are
as
going
you're-
after the fight with the dragon with just a short rest, like.
Yeah, exactly. And as you're going there, like, basically, can you describe it? Can you imagine how you guide the group through this? By the way, I'm going to show you a picture of how basically I imagine the plane in general looks like kind of the vision of usually what you see around you, with little variations here and there. So this is what the place looks like.
Oh,
Oh, lovely.
cozy.
Yeah, it's a lovely place, cozy. Yeah. Sure, let's go on vacation then.
So let me see. Only for flavor, I'm not using
Sure.
my spell, but
Do it.
I take out my bow. I always carry it in my hand now, and you can see that I walk really fast, and sometimes I jump from one place to another, like I disappear and pop up in another place. This is only for flavor, okay? Yes,
Hey,
I'm
go,
not
go,
using
go.
the spell.
Rule of cool. Rule of cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Don't worry. I'm not the kind of GM.
So I come back and I use this sometimes when something seems like dangerous. I use this, like I disappear and appear somewhere else.
Okay, she's cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Indeed.
As you're traveling, at some point, Raistlin kind of walks in such a way that you are walking beside him, Jonah. What is the march order? Yeah, that's what I should ask. Give me your marching order. Yeah.
I think Monson should be on the front because she's leading us. I will
I
take
don't
the
think-
next position because I usually take the front,
Yeah.
and I don't know about the rest.
I can be in the back if we want someone. Jonah's fairly perceptive. Or Keras, you can.
I can be in the back. I'm very perceptive. And
Wait, I have a passive perception of 23.
You
There are people who have better
won
passive
me
perceptions in this game. Yeah.
for
I don't know if
2.
anyone has.
I have 21.
Jonah
So-
has 25 and Chris has 41.
Wow. Okay, so we're okay.
Perception?
We're
Yeah, we're playing freaking
yeah.
13th level characters.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we are okay.
ridiculous stats.
So
Yeah.
We are all keeping our eyes open. So yeah, I guess Jonah's more in the center than
Sure.
for when Raistlin
So
approaches.
Raistlin like kind of walks in such a way that he leans a little bit towards you and he says, "I see the mark of the kiss on your forehead. Are you friends with Dalamar?"
I met him only once, shortly before we began our journey.
How
He is alive, last I saw him. Not many of the powerful mages who faced the knights seemed as hale and hearty as he.
Good. Good that he is alive. I don't care about the other ones. Did he have any theories? He's the smartest elf I've ever met.
He pointed us towards God's home, and I believe he explained that the arcane power behind the knights was not coming from the moons, but was, and this is me trying to remember, I think they were like harnessing chaos
basically they were harnessing the residual magical energy in the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of the way he based it. But you could call it chaos if you want to. Not a problem.
Yeah. Unaligned from the gods of magic, not channeled through the moons. And because the gods of magic have joined their brethren, their family in the conflict, their gifts are failing. Have you noticed your abilities?
And he looks at you. Do you see my spell book? Do you see my staff? Do you think I have any kind of magical abilities here? What I did with your friend was only a trick. An illusion of sorts.
That we shall endeavor to protect you from the jailer.
Do not be troubled about that. I cannot die here.
Oh.
If I die, I will be reborn in more pain. That's all I will be. You will, though. If you die, you're gone. Especially you. Does your friend know that he's actually now praying to you for his miracles? And he points towards Haldrath, like in front of you a little bit, like a couple of steps away. But I don't think Haldrath has like
my
the
perception is like 14.
It's
I'm
14.
the
Yeah, you don't
normal
have like
here.
the lowest one. No, you didn't hear this.
I can't hear any of this.
I've always been the one with faith in the group.
That's one
But
way to put it.
saying that, Jonah is going to cast Death Ward on himself.
Good to know.
Good point.
Yep. Good to know.
And I'm going to cast Aid on Haldrath, Geras. And before that, I would have asked, sort of in the conversation, I would have asked Moonsong, how do you fight? Like,
Yeah.
in close quarters or at range?
I don't need aid. I'm okay.
Okay. So
She
then,
has a badass bow.
yeah. Partly I wanted to see if, like, does Ricelin need aid? Because even if he is a level 20 wizard, like, that still could have been useful. But alright,
He's not.
So then the three of us...
Sadly, he's not. Otherwise, we would having a lot of fun, but no.
Wait. Let me check my maximum hit points. Yeah, never mind. I don't cast aid because we still have aid from before.
Still have a.
Haha.
Good.
Oh, you're
Wait,
That's
why
right.
what
are
my
we doing?
4th level slot from before was.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Are we getting near?
Yeah.
I don't know, but since
You're
we avoided
approaching.
other random
Yeah.
encounters.
So
Yeah,
I'm going
you're
to
avoiding.
cast, if we're casting spells, I'm going to cast...
Pass
on
without a
you-
trace?
No, in Jonah, I'm going to cast Protection from Evil.
I think that only lasts...
No.
10 minutes?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
10 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to cast it.
Yeah. when we're
Near.
As you're
closer.
getting near, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah.
I would
how
ask...
how much HP was saved before?
15 hit points.
15.
So
Oh, yeah.
you should check your max hit
100
points.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
have 141 actually max HP. Moonson has beat like a lot.
Yeah, like 19
Listen.
more points.
Listen, I saw the videos and I saw you drop like flies. I said, "Oh shit!" So I'm going to take all the HP.
She told me that. She told me
That
that
I
I was
could
watching
get.
the videos and they're dropping like flies, and I'm like, I'm doing what I can to make things interesting.
So I say I'm going to fight
Did
for
you
the
watch
far.
all the videos or just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
last one?
All of them.
Oh,
Damn, yeah. They're good. By
Yep.
the way, our audience can attest to that. They're kind of good.
Yeah, that happens.
I would ask Ricelin if he has any details on how this jailer presents themselves, how they fight. Are they wreathed in flames, ice? Do they appear as a mortal?
Go ahead and roll.
Oh yeah, I don't
You
know.
roll a religion. I'm gonna use your roll to see what Raisin remembers. Go ahead and roll religion or arcana. Up to you.
wait, so you saw my epic fight with Paper Rock Seasons?
Yeah.
23.
Okay.
Okay. He says,
Yeah, so it. but
Aburag
I,
is a. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm talking about the videos. It's not.
yes, it's okay. It says, Aburag is a great demon. It, poison can harm its alien physiology, and as most of its kind, it can shrug off most of the damage caused by cold, fire, or lightning, and any mundane weapons.
Thank you.
Only magic can pierce that skin. And I haven't seen this, but I imagine that he may have abilities that can ignore the effects of many magic spells.
Can we hear that?
He's
yeah,
not being
I
quite
think I would
erratic.
share, like, the. He specifically said that poison could or could not. Could not. Yeah.
Nothing.
So basically,
Okay.
not worth trying the poison.
And of course, this being was born of fire. So
Yeah.
fire's out of the question as well.
Which
so
sucks
potion,
because.
fire, magic.
Those are like
Yeah.
immunities.
Yes. And
Uh-huh.
then resistant
Immune
to
Yeah.
ice
Cold,
and
lightning,
lightning.
and damage from non-magical weapons. Yeah.
So,
What about the corrotic?
That should be good enough. He says, looking towards you.
good, because in a bit of meta, I do fire damage or radiant damage. And that's what I
I
got.
think that radiant damage is.
Yep. This is what we're going with.
So, good
The
to...
place where we're going.
So can you describe this creature? I mean, he knows exactly where it is.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
It's literally guarding the gate of the abyss. Like
Okay.
the only gate out of the abyss that
And
exists.
its heart is the key to open that gate.
No, because I have locate creature, locate what?
Yeah, sure.
Because
I was
if he
thinking about
knows-
that.
But if he knows where it is, the demon is. I don't have to use it. So.
If you use that, though, I'm gonna
Okay.
give you something. I'm not gonna say what.
Okay, so he describes the creature to me.
Yeah, the creature is the way he describes it is like a winged creature with horns, and has it has a sword wreathed in lightning, and he's able to use some of that lightning, and it also has a whip, and it can use that. It has a fire whip on one hand, and the other has huge wings. Yeah, that's about the way he describes it.
So
And he
And
tells
he-
you that this one has 3 eyes, so that's why that's the mark of Aburag. Actually, I'm gonna say he goes ahead and in the ground in the ashes, he draws for you a sigil, which is basically like a representation of the demon with some runes on it and everything, and the name written in the language of magic. Says you should be able to use that. That is the identifier.
so I can I can locate it as long as it's 100 feet from me.
Yes.
And I cast the spell and lasts for an hour concentration. So when they get near, I cast it. I know the name, so it's good enough.
Yeah.
And I'm using my spells.
Yeah. All the spell slots.
4th level.
How many first level you have?
Me?
Hmm?
I have 2. I have 4 spell slots, but I have 2 spells. Very.
Oh, okay.
So I use it.
Yeah.
I locate creature.
So you sense it, and it is like, I don't know. You've ever like encountering in your fights and in your life something as evil as this is in a very specific sense. this creature, you can feel that it enjoys, inflicting pain on others. It's that kind of creature. It lives for that sensation. It's a masochist of the highest level. And no, a sadist.
Yeah.
Masochist, a sadist of the highest level. Yeah,
He likes to.
it's a little bit of a masochist as well, but yeah, that's the way their demons are.
You
But
have
yeah,
to be one to be the other.
Yeah, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, a lot of column B in this case, like a sadist of the highest kind, and yeah, you feel this presence, and by the way, at this point, this place is deserted and barren. Nothing grows here. There's no water in the whole place that you've traveled through. But now you start seeing like a river, which seems to be made out of a liquid. It looks like oil. And this river is sprung out of nowhere and is like running downhill. And when you see that is when Racing says, "We're near. We're approaching the gate."
So I can sense if he's moving and know the direction of the movement.
It's staying in the same place, and you're moving like you need to follow the river, basically.
Okay. So I say he's there and he's not moving. So this is a concentration spell, so then I will have to drop it in order to cast for Jonah protection from evil from good, because he has to stay alive.
Yeah. So I'm actually go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna ask, like, when Riceline mentioned that this creature was resistant to magical spells, do we know, in a meta sense, what that spell would be for a greater demon? Like spells of 3rd level or higher, 4th level or higher, 5th, like.
No, I think that's his way of saying that it has magic resistance.
Ah, okay.
And also probably, and you can imagine this already, because otherwise, the creature has a name and a title.
Yeah.
It's a legend, so it probably has legendary resistances as well. Okay. Although I'm using the legendary resistance rules from Level Up 5e, which actually, thank you very much, Morus from Ian Publishing, for allowing us gracefully to be able to use the tokens that they offer for free on their website to basically use for our campaigns. Actually, you're gonna see one of the tokens now. And yeah, because you did that, because you cast Locate Creature, Moonsong, I'm gonna give you. It doesn't exist in 5e. I know. Please don't comment this on the section below. I know that doesn't exist, but I'm an old fart, and I remember the old terms. I'm gonna give you a round of surprise on Abra.
Okay.
So you have one round against it. Like the creature, you're gonna be able to have the drop on it. Like probably for the first time in the campaign, because you've been surprised and attacked and ambushed like all the way through. But now you get it, because now you have someone that can actually guide you through this shit. You get, the drop on it.
Elena?
The drop on the creature.
Elena, sorry, I wanted to ask this before you say the surprise. It's possible to, as soon as Moonsong say that that demon is near, I can use invisibility in myself?
Sure. Okay. How long does invisibility last?
1 hour.
Yeah, sure. You're like, I'm gonna say, when Raceline says this, the river starts going, like, basically that we're near is like we're like an hour away from whatever place we're going.
Kenneth will say I will be close enough. Don't worry, and cast with my limited resource invisibility.
Does the demon has any kind of special senses that we should be aware of?
Yes. It's a demon, and we're in the place they're born from.
Be wary of that, then.
It can't see anything. And like he looks like around, looking at like Kara's that disappeared, that was behind you, and he's like,
it's not going to work.
Not necessarily. He must just need to get a little smarter with it, and he can. Oh fuck!
Sorry.
Okay, so what do you want to do with your one round of
So wait,
surprise?
Oh, wait. We're not there yet. I'm gonna let you there, but we're not there yet. Do other stuff, but we're not there yet.
All right.
So
Sorry.
when we get like near, I'm going to drop locate creature and cast protection from evil to Jonah. That's my.
Okay.
And then I'm going to step back, so the melee fighters
Yeah.
go into him
Okay.
and I'm going far.
Okay.
That's what I'm planning to do.
Okay. So
I think that Keras will try to move on the side, not with Haldrat and Jonan group, but close enough so he can flank or be behind.
yeah,
He will try to.
do that. Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna drop you into the map before you get into this Raistlin. Says to you, Jonah, if you ever see my nephew, Palin, tell him to not go where I went. That's all. He doesn't need the stuff or anything else. And
I
then he
know.
stays back and says, I guess good luck. And now we're gonna go into the map. And by the way, since you're ambushing, feel free to put yourselves whenever you want in the map. Oh, and he says, beware of the river. If you fall into that, you won't like it.
Okay. Oh, that is a good, cool token.
Oh,
That is a good token, and this is a good map.
wait.
It's still loading for me.
Whoa.
As always,
Whoa.
Thank you so much. in this case, we're thinking Ori the Cartographer. I'm using another provider of maps. You know, most of our maps are from Che and Peku. But now I found this beautiful map by Ori the Cartographer. I'm also a patron of his or them. I don't know their gender. But yeah. And the token, as I said before, is courtesy of Ian Publishing under game Level Up 5e. That is out everywhere.
Are these cover?
Those are stones. Yeah, I dropped you in the middle of it. That's the river that you should avoid. So now you need to choose one of the
Okay.
yeah, you need to choose one of the sides of the river to approach it, or maybe go from different, maybe 2 on one side, 2 on the other, that kind of thing.
So.
Yeah.
First question: do you want the demon in any other side besides where is it east right now?
No, I mean, I would like to be within 120 feet of the demon and within 60 feet of you guys. I think we should try. We have 2 strategies. Either we all stick to the paladin, or we all spread out.
We don't know the attacks. So
Yeah.
To know what is. But Moonsong can be with me. So.
Yeah, I think we should try and
that's
spread
the-
out. The 2 of you maybe try and stick together. Like, get us. Try and stay within 10 feet of the paladin.
Yeah.
I'm asking all of this because I'm having one throw. I think I cannot use this surprise ambush round
Why?
because it goes against the character.
Mm.
And I feel
why I like you so much, Alejandro. Yeah,
A
you're
round of
knight.
applause.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
honor
like there's
first.
such a dumbass, but
It makes sense.
I cannot do it. I cannot do it. You can.
Yeah, I think Jonah is going to do something in between, where what I'm going to do is I'm going to bless all of us. And that's going to be my action sort of in the surprise round. It's not going to be an offensive, I'm not going to bless, like...
It's one action, right?
I
Because
mean, one
think
turn.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like,
we
action,
have one
bonus
turn.
action, movement.
That's how the demon looks like.
Okay.
By the way, like
The thing in the
She's
middle
pretty.
is the river.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing in the middle is a river of like this. Once again, now the substance is no longer oil. Looks like this purplish thing, and this purplish like torches lighting the whole place. And that mouth, that devilish mouth or demonic mouth, I should say, at the top seems to be like the doorway into another place. And the river runs into it and disappears.
So I'm going to ask before, do we want to protect Keras? I can cast this spell instead on Keras.
I think
And
that's a
not
good
on
idea.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Protection and good and from good and evil.
The two of you
Yeah.
will be within close
I
quarters.
can cast that on myself. By the
I
way.
can cast it whatever you want. I saw Keras fall a lot.
You don't see the expression of my face right now.
And I
If
think
it's
that
important-
he would be really good. He doesn't fall.
What
but-
about you?
Me, I'm going to fight from afar, so it's not an issue.
Okay.
What do you think?
Whatever it is,
Gerard?
I'm going to maintain the creature far from you.
Excellent.
I will try to be close enough to surprise.
So,
Maybe
who do I cast the spell on?
Maybe you want to fight it at range, Keras, actually, because I don't. He has wings, so maybe he won't be an a range for you too.
I understand.
And and if we know that his hide is resistant to magic, I don't know if your spells are going to be enough. Do you have an option?
I can.
And if not,
In meta, he has magical daggers.
Yeah, in meta you saw that I have the magical daggers and the shield touch. The rest is melee.
claro, pero sorry,
Wrong,
So in
wrong-
Spanish
wrong
there.
language. That's not common.
Halfling.
so don't have but I don't think the daggers return, and I'm saying like if he goes away or we fight on the fucking river, like what
No. I have the how is it called the
Chill touch, the cantrips.
no the spell the blade the
Shadow blade?
Shadow blade. If I
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm trying to use that instead of throwing my daggers because they don't return.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I can use the surprise round by revealing myself and casting something on me for free.
Yeah.
That
Protection
that
from
is
good
fine.
and evil and your oath, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do stealth check now that I'm invisible and try to be close enough to the demon to be in position to attack.
Okay. Sure.
So wait, who do I cast the spell on?
Get us.
Cousin me.
Okay,
You need
Keras,
to
you
do you need to see me or not?
I have to touch you before you go.
Okay, you see you have a hoof in your shoulder.
Okay, so I cast. So you have protection against. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against you. You can't be charmed, frightened, and possessed. Okay,
Okay.
that's it.
Sorry, disadvantage against me. I can be charmed.
You can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Gotcha.
The magic words.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Very
you are,
important.
and he has disadvantage on attack,
And attacks
on
against
attack
you.
rolls.
Yeah.
If other things, he hasn't had disadvantage.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast.
Thank you.
So how near can we get to him?
Pretty close.
I think so. Yeah.
But close, like 120.
You have to. It depends. You're asking like how close can you get, or what are you looking for? Actually, I think that's a better question.
I mean, I'm getting.
I'm gonna make it simple.
150. Yeah.
I'm going to start the fight here.
Okay.
I'm going
You're
to try.
stepping on the
one of the
river.
rocks.
I need to move
Yeah,
before.
on the rock.
Okay,
Double
so
on
I'm
the
going
right.
to. Which are we separating? I'm going to put myself.
Yeah, the map is not that
It's a
big,
little-
so we can.
It's a little big, this map.
I'm a little far, right, from you, Yona?
Yeah.
Do you want me to be closer or? To
No,
drop
I'm
the
basically
attention here?
like, if I have to, like, try and stay on the left side, so that I can
Alright.
try and reach you with a healing word if I need to, sort of, like, get you up, back
I'm
from.
moving.
unconsciousness.
Sorry.
This is fucking dumb. I can just
Listen.
smite with a 4th level.
This part here, Elena. This is up. I need to climb, or
Yeah. This is, I'm gonna say, like 100 feet off the ground. But you would have time because once again you have the drop on a creature. So yeah,
so.
you can do that if you want to.
What I want to do, I'm going to roll stealth, but what I want to do
but
is
where?
try.
Don't roll it yet. What are you putting what is your objective? Where are you putting yourself? And then you roll, like, let's end your movement and then roll the stealth check.
Okay. What I'm trying to do is be in less than 30 feet of him. So maybe by here.
You want to be 30 feet away from it?
Yeah. Or 25, 20 feet.
Okay. Let me see if I can show you something here. Yeah, that's one. Alright, so 30 feet away from it would be there. So if
Gotcha.
you want to be 25, you would need to be like inside of this 25. You need to be inside of the circle.
Okay, I'm going to there.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Put yourself there,
oh,
and okay.
Okay.
Now give us your stealth check. With advantage because you're invisible, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah.
Please don't fail. Please don't fail. So
Pretty good.
27.
That's pretty good. So yeah, as far as you can tell, you have climbed this place, get very close to the demon. By the way, at this point you can see the demon and everything else, like you can see its wings and the whip and the sword. It is the size of a great sword, but wreathed in, like, only one hand, grabbing it with one hand and wreathed in this lightning around it. And yeah,
Okay.
that's about it.
This is what I want to do. Now that I'm here. I'm going to have my dagger of venom in my hand. I don't activate it. I won't use the effect. So only as a +1. And if you allow me, I want to ready an action to attack as soon as Haldrath distract this creature.
Okay, sure. So that was your round of surprise. How about the rest of you?
I think before we split up, you can tell me how many rounds that would have been in the duration of the spell. I would have cast Bless on the 4 of us.
Okay. I'm gonna say, considering the distance I'm gonna say probably everybody separated from where you are. These are the closest, quote unquote, but also everybody else has more movement, I think, that you have. Moonsong and Haldrath have, at least. So I'm gonna measure it from here. So you are at 75 away from the demons. I'm gonna say that was probably 1, 2. You have 3 rounds ago you started these.
Okay.
So you're gonna go into round 4. So
Okay. We are blessed.
Something that you would like to do, Moonsong?
yeah, please.
You're muted.
I don't know. I mean, I have
You casted protection from good and evil on Keras?
That's all that I can do right now. Everything has to be when I attack.
Okay.
So I have bless.
Yes.
Everyone has bless.
Where is the equal of
On my
this?
case, I'm going to start like I'm going to land on the rock,
Say, yeah,
just
exactly,
just in front. And
What do you
as
say?
And as I look at the demon, and I think he look at me, I'm going to say, I am Sir Haldrath Wyrmblood, Arch Knight of the Knights of the Rose. State your name and get the hell out of my path. And I'm going to cast Protection from Good and Evil on me and Vow of Enmity on the demon.
Demon looks at you and says, fresh meat. And that's what we're gonna end it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
No.
Yeah. This is it. I don't want to even roll initiative. We're gonna leave initiative for the next session because it's the coolest thing to say. Let's roll initiative and then we're going to combat immediately.
Okay. Let's roll initiative.
Yeah. So no. Let's not roll initiative.
Oh,
now.
Okay, then
Very
let's
important.
not roll initiative.
Let's not roll initiative. Let's keep it from the next session. Sorry.
I didn't roll initiative, I just...
No.
Yeah.
I was just saying
Not my
because
spells.
It's going to be very interesting if Moonsong has advantage on initiative or not.
Good question. We should ask when she came back.
I
Yeah.
don't think she has. But
Wow.
she has a very decent +5 to her initiative.
That's where
Okay.
we are going to know if she really watched our video.
Yeah.
We really like our video.
I think it might be that the advantage on initiative is not helping us as much as maybe having really high hit points.
Yeah.
I think
Or high
Moonsong has a different strategy in staying alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're we're asking Patty if you have advantage in initiative.
Yeah.
Finally,
But she has a
someone.
+5.
Well,
No.
yeah.
Anyway,
She has a +5.
Do I
How
have
are
to
you
roll?
feeling?
No,
No,
that'll be
no.
the start of
Okay.
next session.
We're gonna start next session with the beginning of combat. So I would ask you especially, Patty. How do you feel about this? Are you enjoying this?
Yes.
I love your character, by the way. I love it so much. It's like
I mean,
cool.
I told you, Dragonlance was the first book of fantasy that I ever read.
Oh, that's so cool.
I was mind blown when I read it, and so I'm really glad to be able to play this game.
Thank you.
I want so much to interact with your character, but I have an issue that I had to resolve first.
Yes, that is true. I want to say thank you to all of you, my players, because you allow me to get to play wrestling again. Once again, it's like
Amazing.
putting on some.
I have a
comforting
crush
clothes.
on wrestling when I was little.
I have
Yeah.
too, yeah. It's like it's one of my favorite characters ever. Precisely because of the reasons that Danielle stated. Like, it's because he's for me the perfect anti-villain.
Yeah.
It's the character you never know what he's gonna do. And I played it in a one-shot once. That was, I got to play him, in AD&D 2nd edition. But it's always been a dream of mine, to play him because I love it so much. I think the character is so interesting. And now I got to play him, got to play him once again after, 20 years after that, 15 years. But he was still there.
It's a character,
I was like, Race, are you there? He was there. He was there waiting for me. The whole thing. Actually, if I could have, I would have gone full makeup here. I would have gone, golden skin,
gold.
the eyes and everything.
There have
Did
to
you
be
read
like
the
contact
books of
lenses.
the twins? Oh yeah, the contact lenses.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
read the books of the twins? Like they're
I've read 40, I'm gonna say, around Dragonlance novels. All the canonical ones, all the mainline, plus a lot of the additional ones. And I have like around 50 in my library. So yeah. I've read all of them. Yeah, those are my favorite actually. You know, the
Me
Chronicles
too.
are good.
The ones
but
of
the
the
legends,
twins. Yeah.
the legends are something else entirely. Like the legends is like why I love Chrysania, why I love Racing so much, why I love Caramon so much. And they're amazing books. You know, very. Actually, I was watching this is for our audience here. If you want to watch something great now, you don't have time to read or anything. Go ahead and Google The Last Trial in YouTube and watch the musical that some crazy people in Russia did.
It's really good.
Adapting basically, the songs are amazing. And they're not adapting in the sense of copying the books. They're creating new stuff. Like they're writing from the books and adapting, the whole storyline of, basically the storyline of the legends, in 2 hours.
I mean, and the music's like some rock symphony.
Super cool songs.
Yeah.
And they're very, for example, the first song, which is the song that is Raistlin singing about himself. I think it's one of the best understandings of the characters I've ever seen. Like, he's definitely someone that really, really understood who Raistlin is. And the actor is amazing as well. Like he's, full makeup, golden skin, the whole, the robes and everything. It's kind of low budgety, but I love it because of that even more. So yeah, if you really want to give it a look, it's out there, and I think it's amazing. Get really, really good introduction to the characters, especially Raistlin, and I love Chrysania as well. Like the actress, she's very good at it. Yeah. How are we feeling, everybody? Are you okay?
I want to fight.
Fine. I want to fight.
We finished session 6, and I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna say this right away, so you're prepared for the next session. You should have leveled up now, but if you defeat Alborag, I'll give you the level up after the fight.
Okay.
So think about it already. Where are you going with level 14? Because we're entering into, we just left the first quarter of the campaign behind. We're entering into the second quarter, and stuff is becoming crazier than, I don't know how crazier it can get. Have some ideas though.
Every time that we need to level up, for me is
Listen, you went multi-class, okay?
Yeah, I know. That's why
you brought this upon yourself.
Yeah, I know. So now I have to do some math.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I get Spanish.
But not yet.
14th level is like, once again, another one of those, remember, like I think the odd levels are the ones in which you get new spells usually if you're a full caster, and if not,
Yeah, I get Destroy Undead for challenge rating 3.
Fucking die.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Good people, awesome people. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this, or you got to the end of the episode, thank you so much for watching all the way through. Remember to give us a like, share it with someone that may enjoy this, subscribe to the channel. We're looking to get to as many subscribers as we can. We're on our quest to 1,000 subscribers.
Comment.
And comment.
What you like.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I like comments.
Yes, comments
We
are
like
awesome.
comments.
We
read them all.
We read them all. We try to answer them all as well. And until next time, be safe, everybody.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.